No.
Hello, everyone.
Hey.
Alright, I guess I'll pull up this stream.
Yeah, let us get our comments all picked up, and there we go.
Woohoo! Alright, how long of a delay are we on tonight, honey? Let's find out. Still on standby.
Still on standby on
There we
Facebook.
are.
There we go.
Alright, I'm still on standby.
Okay. Well, isn't that just a funny starter here? 30 seconds of us trying to figure out what's going on. Welcome to Mercury retrograde. Okay. All right, everyone.
I feel gypped because mine is still showing standby. And I had mine up first. What the? Oh, there we go.
Well, for everyone that didn't know, tomorrow is the summer solstice.
Yes.
Yes, it is.
I believe it is.
And
it's also Father's Day tomorrow.
yes, and today is Juneteenth.
Yep.
Oh, nice.
So
This summer's going by quickly.
yeah.
And it's just starting.
It is.
It's just starting tomorrow, and it's already pew.
And things are getting back to normal here in Michigan.
You notice how no face masks?
And I'm here today. Yeah.
So things are getting back to normal within the sanctuary too.
Yes.
So welcome everybody, and so tonight we're going to be doing our solstice ritual, and
It's going to be a quick one because of how late we got on.
we were supposed to be on hours ago, and we just got around to getting caught up and
That's my fault.
enjoying food and
We got to yakking.
So it's our fault, but hey, we're on at our normal time.
I know. Well, close enough. It's 10:22 now.
Yeah, so this is when we would normally get on and say, "Oh, we're almost ready." But here we are, and so as you may or may not know, Sanctuary of the Phoenix does rituals the Saturday before or the Saturday of the astrological event that we observe as a Sabbath.
Mm-hmm. Or Esbat.
Esbat. Esbat is the moon and Sabbat is the sun.
Mm-hmm.
So we do things Saturday before.
Yes. Makes it a little bit easier, somewhat.
For most people. Okay, so here we go. We've got the cauldron started.
You just gotta get some incense going, and
And we have our normal purification that we gotta get to. And
yeah.
so let me hand it over to you.
Are you ready?
No?
You're never ready. All right.
Okay, where do we start?
Well, let's not lose the table.
That's a good place to start.
Yes. Okay. Start over on the other side.
Okay. Well, ta-da.
Go through.
Well, it makes it hard for my nerve palsy.
Okay, let's go through. I'm catching up to you.
Here we go.
Now we are in this process of using water and salt. It is a form of protection, and it is casting the circle so that whatever magic work that we do while we are within this circle is protected from any negative or harmful energies that may be coming from outside the circle.
It's also purification of the ritual
Yes.
space.
That
We
is
would
one.
normally do it in a larger circle encompassing the people joining us, but we're in our living room and
We got to make do with what we got with us, so.
Mhm.
But we included Caitlin in the circle, so intent is everything.
That's right.
Yes. Alrighty. So now we shall call the corners. North is this way, which is where we start off, at least here in Sanctuary of the Phoenix. And so I shall start by calling corners.
Well, do we want to stand or we want to sit down? Or
Would you like to sit or stand?
Probably stand to be sure we can get in.
Yes.
At least for this corner.
yeah, cameras can see us. So.
Hail, guardians of the Watchtower of the North, element, earth, color green. We welcome you to our Litha ritual. Hail and welcome.
Hail and welcome.
Hail, guardians of the Watchtower of the East, element, air, color yellow. We welcome you to our Litha ritual. Hail and welcome. Hail, guardians of the Watchtower of the South, element fire, color red, as well as the direction for Litha. We welcome you to our Litha ritual. Hail and welcome.
Hail and welcome.
Hail, guardians of the Watchtower of the West, element water, color blue. We welcome you to our Litha ritual. Hail and welcome.
Hail and welcome. All right, see that Mercury retrograde? It's
I know.
taking its toll on me.
That and flubbing my words. Alrighty. So now I shall officially light the Litha fire, which is for us a candle. But hey, if you got a bonfire or a fire pit, go right ahead and light one. There we go. Yay! Alrighty. At this time, we ask that you invoke or evoke any deity of your choosing to join us tonight to celebrate the coming of the summer as we celebrate summer solstice. We ask that any deity that you wish to join us to please join us in light and love and seek to do no harm. So we will take a moment to do that and we will continue.
She popped right up. Just standing there waiting.
Hail and welcome.
Alrighty. Now please bear with me as I try to read off this image that I had to take off my computer screen because, hey, my phone didn't. Mercury retrograde and my phone didn't want to connect to our lovely Sanctuary Google Drive, so yay. Alrighty. Now for the history of Litha. The apex of the sun's power has come to be. It is now the longest day and shortest night of the year. One old tradition to bring in the summer solstice / Litha is for people to climb to the top of tall hills, stay up all night long, and light fires made with oak wood as they await the rising of the morning sun. As with other fire sabbats, people would throw aromatic herbs into the fire, dance, and jump across. A lot like the Beltane fires. In the morning after the fires have died out, the coals and ashes would be brought and spread amongst the fields to bring good tidings for a plentiful harvest in the fall. Litha is the time when the Oak King's reign comes to an end, and he passes the torch to the Holly King as the world begins its descent back into darkness. If you are fortunate enough to live in this area of the world, many people visit Stonehenge in the early morning hours to watch the sunrise over the stone structures. In regards to your altar, you can decorate and adorn your altar whichever way you feel is necessary for Litha. No two altars are exactly alike. Intent means everything. Some suggestions: bright and light. Even if your altar is simple, you can still express the intention of the ritual at hand. If you weren't for structured rituals like this, fear not. There are ways you can usher in the summer solstice. Build a campfire, roast some s'mores, and sleep underneath the stars. Become one and in tune with nature around you. Alrighty. Now, is there any magic work that must be done? Because I know we are definitely in Mercury retrograde. And things are really, really rough with communication. Just overall moods have been horrible this one.
Oh, I know.
This one's been rough.
I can vouch for that. I've been super on edge. Like, I've been getting angry over things that I shouldn't be getting angry about.
On edge about everything.
Oh, yeah.
Panicky, anxiety. Yeah.
Yeah.
This one's a doozy. They warned us too.
Yeah, they did.
Like, when they realized that Mercury was going to be in retrograde for this long, they were really warning everyone. They're going, guys, this is a bad one, so get ready. And they were not wrong.
Well, patience and clarity.
Maybe a little bit of luck. Peace.
Little luck. Taking time.
Yes.
Anything rushed is going to be bumbled.
Yep. Hi, Shelby. Alrighty. So yeah, definitely take it easy this Mercury retrograde. And especially with the fact that this summer solstice is fire related, it brings that much more power and like fierceness to this time around.
Yeah, yeah.
It is a powerful. Fire is very powerful if it's not controlled properly.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't keep it under control, it gets out of hand very quickly. So.
It's one of the most powerful and destructive elements out there.
Yep. Right.
That's the stillest I've ever seen a flame on a candle before.
It's a pretty big flame too.
Yes.
Must mean everything's in balance at the moment.
That's good.
Eesh, that works with me.
Same. It has a nice effect with the smoke.
I know, it's pretty.
Aesthetics.
Everyone's just like,
Ooh.
ooh, pretty. And then everyone watching's just like, okay guys, we see it's a candle, come on now.
What are we supposed to be doing here? I'm kinda lost.
Oh no, we're in ritual.
ADD moment of the day.
Everybody here. Everybody here. Alright. Now, I'm going to be bouncing between the chat and the ritual paper, which is pretty easy, so hey. But, so if I don't see anybody's messages, I'm sorry. I will get looking back at it. I know that Caitlin and Odin both have their phones on the chat as well, so...
And is right now a good time for asking for blessing requests?
Yeah.
Preparing for magic work and all.
Yeah. Yep. So any blessing requests, please post those into the chat. I will pop back over the chat. So any blessing requests, please put it in the chat. We look at the Facebook chat. So if you are currently watching from YouTube, Instagram, whatever we have streaming right now, we will not see any blessing requests through those. It's only the Facebook chat that we will actually see the chats on. So, sorry. It just makes it easier on all of us.
Yeah.
Once we're more established, I'm pretty sure each one of us can watch at least one of them.
Yeah.
Yep, that'll make it a lot easier. Yep. Yes.
We need an operator.
Yeah, but
we need a production set. We need a production unit.
I would say with what we have, we are doing pretty well.
We are.
So
we really are.
It's a really humble setup, and
well, you guys also have to think like we've been doing this since before COVID hit, so we're pretty experienced with this. And then when COVID hit, all these other sanctuaries didn't have and even even on the Christian side, they didn't have a way to do their services because they were all in person. And they're just like, well, crap, what do we do? And we're just like, we're just doing what we're doing, you know, we don't have to change anything. And then a lot of people saw what we were doing, and we actually really set the example for a lot of other organizations in the area and across the United States and possibly even the world for, you know, how we've been doing things.
They took in what we were doing and made it their own.
Yeah.
I know with where my dad goes to church, they did a whole group thing. Like, they did a giant Zoom meeting of church members that want to do it.
Yeah. And then there's only like a few churches like that I know of, like especially like Frontline, that they do online streaming, even their in-person stuff. Yeah. So for them it was really easy. It was just instead of going in person, we just click a link and hey, we're here.
And we have that technology too now with Jitsi, so it's something that we've considered doing, and we might start doing like a weekly meeting for people to get together soon.
Yeah, like an online meetup
in beta right now.
Yep.
So it's accessible tonight.
I really wish we still had like the group chat option through Facebook.
Yeah.
Because like as a group, like we'd be able to like send out a group message and it would go to everybody, and then people could all just hop in and message or just exit out.
Or we could send the room link to everyone at once.
Yeah, like that'd be nice.
It would. That way if we can't make it or if I'm out of town, I can at least be involved somehow.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we've gone through this big time of change, and now we're going back to a time of getting back to normal, getting back to the basics.
Some semblance of normalcy. It's going to take time.
Yeah. I mean, what is normal anyway? So
what's normal for the spider is chaos for the fly.
Exactly. So we're all getting back to business as usual to the best of our abilities.
Yeah, because especially, you know, we've all of us that are still, you know, breathing right now, watching the stream, you know, I was pretty much there. What do you mean? Well, I'm the one that had to get under my desk at school when we heard the country was under attack, you know?
I was told that my teacher came in, told us to be quiet, she flipped the news on, and the next thing I know, they're talking about a plane just flying right into one of the Twin Towers, and then you watch the other one do it.
Yeah.
Like, I remember the notification, or the principal making an announcement at the middle school saying that, you know, telling teachers pretty much don't turn on the TVs because they didn't want to freak out the students. They didn't want us to freak out. But I remember coming home from school that day. I can't remember if we got released early or what, but because it was at Northview.
Yep.
And I can't remember if we got released early or what from the middle school, but I remember my mom sent my older brother up to the school to get me, and she's like, Ben, don't let her out of your sight. And it was freaky because then I remember, like, my dad went and picked up my little brother from the elementary school and, like, rushed us home so that we could be home. It was so surreal and weird.
Oh.
And like, I remember walking in and my mom's just sitting on the couch crying. And I'm like, what? Kids, gotta love it. Oh, there we go.
Sanctuary of the Phoenix is a family coven.
We are.
Family friendly.
Yes, gotta love the littles. But yeah, I remember walking in and just seeing my mom bawling her eyes out, and I didn't get it. Like, she was watching, you know, because this is like afternoon, so this is after both the towers had already collapsed, after, you know, World Trade Center 7 came down too, and you know, Pentagon had already gotten hit, the plane had already fell in the field in Pennsylvania. So every event that pretty much, you know, epitomizes the event of 9/11 having occurred had already happened. So it was all just news agencies just repeating the same information just over and over and over and over. just like a broken record. Every 5 minutes, it was all right, let's reboot this clip. Let's re-say this, So every 5 minutes, and it lasted for days and months.
And it's much like what we're facing now.
Yeah.
And the way that our society changed then is in ways that we're changing now.
Yeah.
In this magnitude.
Yeah.
In new ways, but in this magnitude of change.
Because, yeah, like, nowadays, you're either having to wear masks or take certain precautions or get vaccinated, And this is worldwide. And, back then for, like, 9/11, which we, all grew up in, I remember how, like, for so long, there was no airplanes. None.
Oh.
The moment that first airplane went overhead, I freaked out. Because I didn't know exactly when the first planes were going to start back up again, and it freaked me out as a kid.
I stopped everything I was doing on the.
It affected my family so much that I can honestly say I am 26 years old. 9/11 secured that I have never been on a plane. My grandma was so terrified of it happening and again that I have driven everywhere that I have been on a family vacation.
Yep. I honestly think that solidified my fear of heights, my fear of going on a plane, just from one massive event.
And we don't really know what the repercussions are going to be from.
There are some countries that are probably are instating screening for the next couple years. Where if you're coming, countries, you're screening and they're still quarantining you. Whether you come back vaccinated, you're coming there vaccinated, no symptoms, and even if your test is negative, if it's negative, they only quarantine you for I think 5 days now, just to make
something
sure,
like that, just to be extra safe. Yeah,
but there are some where they'll still quarantine you for the full 2 weeks.
Yep, before they'll even let you step foot
it's in a
on their soil.
They have there's China. They have a whole district dedicated to quarantining any visitors.
You literally step off the plane. They have military members that guide you to the shuttles that shuttle you straight to the hotel rooms that they have blocked off and the buildings that they have built. You literally go straight in. They check you in to make sure that you're in. You are literally behind a locked door.
They bring you your food, your clothing. If you have anything that needs to be taken, they tell you to leave it outside the door and they'll take it for you.
Yep. The only time that you are to open your door is if you're receiving food, putting your tray back out, or grabbing whatever, and they literally will give you a couple knocks and they will move away from your door to allow space for social distancing.
Australia has a similar setup with a zone like that.
Yeah,
a lot of the country, and that's probably the best way, because there's a country, I think Sweden, one of the few countries that actually avoided getting any COVID-19 cases at all. Yeah. Where they didn't have to have the mask procedures, none of the social distancing.
They did that for a while, but then their numbers skyrocketed.
I didn't hear that.
Yep, their numbers
they didn't even broadcast
skyrocketed.
But they're also an incredibly small country.
This is true too.
Yeah, they're so small of a country that for them having skyrocketing numbers, 100,000 for them is a nice chunk of the country, which compared to us, it's just a drop.
Yeah.
So for them, that's a massive amount of people. So for them, it really hit them hard, and especially Italy. Oh my God, Italy got so bad.
India.
They shut down the whole country. Those are two. One's in Italy and India. One of the two countries that shut down completely.
No, India. They are just recently shut down. I think. Don't quote me on it, guys.
Really
Don't quote me.
spiked up.
I know Italy completely shut down to where everybody was locked into their house.
Yep.
Completely. And if they found you out.
Yep.
Yeah.
You got in trouble. New Zealand.
Yeah.
They we actually have a musician artist, Amanda Palmer. Her and her son were there.
Yeah, we're fans.
We're big fans. They actually were there in New Zealand when the lockdown happened, to where they were literally stuck. They couldn't go home. They couldn't leave. Nothing.
Yeah, New Zealand has a zone for the quarantining too right now.
Yep, now they do. Yep, but at the time they weren't allowing people to leave or come in. She actually ended up having to enroll her child into school there because they need. He was of age, and obviously couldn't go back home to, go to school. So, hey.
It's wild. And we're going to be dealing with this for years. And we haven't even scratched the surface of the trauma that it's going to leave on this world. And it's something that we're going to come to find as time
imagine all the PTSD and all the mental health issues that are arising because of this.
So we need to make sure that we get some extra light and love out there.
Well, not even just that, but
do you think you could in a minute put a little more on there, because I was having difficulty with my...
That's fine. Like, just imagine, like, all the mental health stuff going on because of all this. Like,
I don't know if you saw the suicide rates numbers were going up.
They skyrocket.
Because of all the being shut down and people not being able to socialize.
Yep.
Like, I know,
I
have social anxiety as it is, and I'm perfectly fine disclosing that. It's part of who I am. So I don't socialize a lot to begin with. And me, who's not a super socialized person...
It affected
me. My depression, like... I was starting to think I was annoying him, and because I was constantly spending time up his ass constantly. I'm just like, but I was going through depressive episodes for no reason, where it's just like, I have absolutely no reason to be depressed right now, but I am so I was out of tune. I was so out of tune. I was like, when people started saying I could come over and visit, I was jumping at chances. Like, I haven't been out of the house more lately than I've ever been.
See, I'm quite reclusive myself, and on a normal day-to-day, I don't mind just sitting around, being home, being away from the world. I like to read, I like to keep up on this and that.
But you get that cabin fever when you're told you have to stay home.
Yeah, I don't like it when I'm told that I can't.
Yep.
Yeah. I like the freedom of, hey, I can choose of whether I get to go out my door or not. But, like, being told of, hey, you can't leave that door, it's like,
I
entomb myself enough.
Yeah, and I think anybody, and it's just as part of it's part of our nature as humans to where we want to be around other people. We're social creatures. We're pack creatures. We can sit there and
It's to what level. It's to what level we are, but in general, we still are.
Like, I have my pack. Like, once you're in my pack, you're my people's. I'm content with being around you. I don't mind being around you constantly, but I'm not that one who wants to go to a party or go out of my way to meet new people. Like, if they're already there, I'll meet them. But if I have to go and I know there's going to be large amounts of new people, I'm good.
Yeah. Like, just the other night, Owen and I were watching... It's a new special from Bo Burnham called Inside.
Oh, yes.
Now, fair warning, okay? If you've not seen it yet, we have to give you this disclaimer. It is raw. It is rough. It will affect you mentally yourself. It is not for the lighthearted. It is not a happy-go-lucky special from Bo at all.
It's very broken comedy. It's worth watching.
It's worth watching at least once. Just once. Just to say that, hey, holy crap, I watched it. This is deep.
There are some things that are a little hard to break up it.
It's so far and few between,
but it's enough in the to where you're not getting super depressed about it. But it is something if you want to, like, to show... If you want to see what this pandemic has done to some people...
That's a great prime
special,
real estate.
That's the great special to go watch.
Now, again, with the disclaimer, if you are very empathetic, if you feed off of other people's energies... And even just watching something can feed you a certain type of energy. This might not be the special for you.
Brace yourself.
Or brace yourself. If you need to stop mid-watching it, that's perfectly fine. There was a couple times where I needed to take a few moments to breathe because it was that just...
Personally, coming from an empath, this worked for me. I'm not saying this works for all empaths. This is me personally. Having another person there that isn't affected as much by the energy helped me because I could feed off his emotion as well. But there are times where I'm sitting there just watching it. He fell asleep and I'm just like, nope. Yeah, you do have to step away. Sometimes having another energy in there, even having like lighthearted music in the background might help as well too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, there was definitely a few moments where we had to pause it and just step away,
take it in,
take that
process.
Yeah, because it's very deep, and it wasn't even just the fact of holy crap, this is deep, because there was parts of it where you could like connect with those feelings, and it was just, it hit a little too close to home.
Yeah, it did. Yeah. But
it gives you an insight on where he touched a taboo subject and made it easy to relate to. Because mental health and everything like that is so taboo to talk about. And even if you do, people are out there saying you're reaching for attention. No, it's something that should be talked about, because you don't know what somebody's going through, and just being able to talk to somebody about it helps.
Like, he even discussed in the special where he has taken the last 5 years off of doing stage shows because he was having constant panic attacks up on stage. Mm-hmm. And he just couldn't do it. Like, there were shows where he would have so bad of panic attacks, he would literally just have to walk off the stage.
And this is something where, as a stage performer, I can relate to, because I'm very reclusive, like I had explained, but there was a time where I was getting up on stage and performing for upwards of thousands of people, and I sort of had to step outside of myself and into a different self, just to
a persona,
isolate.
Yeah
That's kind of what I do with this. I have super hate like stage fright. Like, just the thought, like, something like this would freak me out, like, when I was younger. Just the thought of people staring at a computer screen, and even if the person's not doing what I think they're doing, but like silently judging me, questioning how I do things, how I speak, how I like present myself, that's a constant fear I have in the back of my head. Like, if I'm in the car by myself, you'll see me singing, having fun, and a field day. But the second somebody else is in the car with me,
dead silent.
It's quiet. I'll talk. I'll put on music, but I won't interact with the music. I'm a completely different person than how I am by myself.
Yeah. So we all work with a little. This stream just got pretty dark. It got a little heavy, but hey, that's the truth. We all deal with things. We're all human.
This is energies. Like, this is magic work right here. Like, we're dealing with energies.
Oh, yeah. But to be able to feel comfortable to talk about it with people just shows that this is a sanctuary where I feel love. Like, to be able to sit here and do this and feel perfectly content in telling you guys how I am and exposing it, that means I'm a comfortable person. It takes a lot for me to do that.
That makes me happy. Because, like, these are really personal, like, taboo subjects, especially, in this society. Because talking about mental health has really been we don't talk about that. Or
you're like, well, it's more talked about. I'm like, yeah, it's more talked about nowadays. I will give it that. I'm like, we have progressed. Nowadays people can talk about it, but you still get
Buddy. Apparently, Sage has a few words that he would like to join in.
It's still back in the time where, though, if you get too much talking, you can sit there and mention it here and there, that's fine. But if you get too in depth about it, or you're talking about how you, like, if I'm telling you I need to talk to you, am I going through this? Stop searching for attention. I'm not, but it's something that needs to be talked about.
Yeah.
Like, you still people get the accusing you of being crazy, or something's wrong with you, or you get the look of like, oh, you're just searching for attention. Everybody's saying this, and I'm like, no, it's more common than you think it is.
Oh yeah,
we need to normalize it.
Like, and the biggest part of normalizing it is talking about it.
Like, there are people who are like me, who have high functioning anxiety, where you can sit there and look at me when people find out I have high functioning anxiety, they're like, but you don't act like it. I'm like, because of how I've had to perceive and function throughout life, I've had to mask it. My constant state of anxiety, you can't even tell. I'm in a constant state of anxiety. I have 6 different scenarios going in my head. And I could sit here and rationally know that 5 of the 6 won't happen.
But there's slight chance that it could.
Yep. That
it's a slight chance that it could. Yep.
It's like the world doesn't realize they can't see it going on because they cannot see past that mask.
Yep.
We get good at it.
Yeah, depression. It's like, most people are like, you don't have depression, you don't act like it.
It's the same sense of invisible disabilities. It's, well, you don't look sick. You don't look like you're in pain. but I am, like...
Or I have a learning disability. You don't look like you have a learning disability, but I do. It's been diagnosed. Just because you can't physically see it or I don't physically advertise it doesn't mean it's not there.
Yeah.
Like, come on. You can't sit there and tell somebody who has... who needs deep tissue therapy who has a service dog that because you can't see their physical disability, they don't have it.
Do we need to get hymns?
Yeah, we might need to get a passy.
Is it over there on his boppy pillow?
Should be over on his boppy or with him. Probably with him.
Well, thank you.
Thank you. And this is why we like Auntie. Because Auntie's so awesome.
But this is also an amazing point, and with being in retrograde, and Mercury retrograde, and we've got Saturn in retrograde, and we got Pluto in retrograde, and we're about to have the strawberry moon. It's a very
energetic,
emotional time.
Yeah, it's a roller coaster right
and
now.
It's bringing all this to the surface, and we're having to deal with it, and it's there.
Yeah.
Oh. Like, I just got into a fight with him because I got insecure because I got overly clingy and I didn't want to express it.
Yeah.
So instead of opening up and talking about how I was feeling, it came off as anger. And he could not understand what he did. And I'm like, it's nothing you did. It's just me feeling a certain way and it's coming off a different way.
Yeah. It happens with us too.
Yep.
Like, I felt bad. Like, when I'd get alone, I felt bad because I'm saying, like, he genuinely does not know what's wrong and I can't sit here and express it without getting mad about it because I'm mad at myself, not him.
Sometimes it just takes that moment to realize that, oops, and trying to be aware of it when it starts to happen again, and being able to apologize for it.
That's a hard thing for me to do. Once I realize what's going on, I'll admit it's hard for me to admit when I'm wrong because it's a pride thing. I'll admit that it's a very big pride thing for me. I was raised by a Marine, and it's no excuse for it.
Same here.
I have a really big...
Same here.
All three of us.
So I have a big... It comes with being raised by when you have ego, and it's not something you want to have, but it's just there because you were raised with it. You were raised to have that or to protect yourself from your feelings. To where it's like, okay, I don't want to admit that I was wrong because I don't want him to hold it against me. Because when I did admit I was wrong to my parents, it was held against me. So it's just something you're taught. You don't want to say it.
A level of strength and pride.
Yeah, and it's just like... When you do it, you sit there and you feel like you're less of a person because you did it, but you're like, no, I saved my relationship instead of saving my ego.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Oh. Well, Dad's time. Dad's turn. All right. Now, I am not able to see who all is joining us, so hello to those who are joining, and hello to those who are goodbye to those who ever have left. Yeah.
It's not pulling up anything on here. It's not even showing if somebody's commented or not on mine.
Well, we've got a few people here, so welcome and thanks to everyone that's here. I mean, we're supposed to be doing some ritual work, but this is some deep therapy ritual work. This is magic work.
I do know that my family needs the blessings with everything that's going on, with me just losing one grandpa from one side of the family, and then just finding out the other one's been diagnosed with stage 4 cancer as well.
Yeah. Want to send energies?
Yes. Okay. You are the best with words with this type of stuff.
Alright. Gods and goddesses, we ask that you please watch. We forgive you.
Mercury retrograde.
Must be the usual time he gets up.
Yes. Yes, it is.
Hey, it happens. I know the struggle.
Okay.
Your other alarms, babe, because one's going to go off at 11:30. You did?
All right. All right. Gods and goddesses, we ask that you please watch over Kaylin and her family as they process the passing of one family member and deal with the health of another. Please guide them through this time. Give them strength, give them love, give them the courage to continue on it when the days get rough. And wrap them in your warm embrace. Blessed be.
Blessed be. We need more love in this world.
Yes.
We need more understanding, more patience. We need empathy, sympathy. And we're all in this together. We're all on this rock together. And the human condition is very faceted, but we all face the same needs and the same comforts and the same fears. So we need to do more work in that as human beings.
Yeah.
And with fire, that being passion, we can take a passion for being a better version of ourselves as we move forward. It's within our abilities to be able to look at ourselves and see how we can better help our communities, better help those we love, better help our families.
Yeah.
Because when we become better people, it elevates everyone around you.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing that the COVID pandemic taught me was just how small this world really is and how interconnected.
They don't know when I was coming back.
Yeah. Like, this was...
And then actually getting it, it went from I've seen it as happening with other people to I got it.
Computer's acting up that bad. I want to apologize to everyone tuning in that is seeing the systems dropping here and there. We need to get a better production system. This one's getting old on us.
Yeah.
So please bear with us. We are not ending the stream until you know we're ending it.
Yeah.
Sorry for the interruption.
But yeah, like it just went to show just how interconnected we all are.
Yeah.
Like there was people who are just connected to other people who are connected to other people who are connected to other people who are catching it. And you just see how it's just...
Or I was like, I got mine from Spencer's. I'm like, it went from me just handling money. We washed our hands. We had hand sanitizer. So we had every option available to get rid of the germs. Yeah. And because we had so many people coming in.
Yeah. It was still
no matter how, I'm like, I couldn't hand sanitize between every transaction, but I was trying to. But it was getting to the point where we had lines going outdoors. We're trying to like keep people 6 feet apart, where all the regulations were set in. And I got it just because I was handling somebody else's money. They didn't know. They're asymptomatic. So how are they supposed to know?
And who sanitizes the money?
Yep. So it's just all a matter of like, we can use hand sanitizer all we want, but you're sitting there going to touch multiples of mud bills and everything. I'm like, one of my coworkers could have been asymptomatic, but because they touched it before I did.
Yeah.
And that was one of the major risks. I mean, a lot of stores, there started to become a coin shortage. Mm-hmm. And then a lot of stores just weren't dealing with coins so much because those were holding the transmission longer.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And they just didn't want to deal with it. They're like, nope. They're like,
it got to the point where Spencer's was not allowing cash transactions. That was including cash at all. Like, you had to pay with card. If you had cash, you had to go to you had to go over to a register, and our managers had to have gloves dealing with it.
Yep.
And then we had to tell people, like, we can't guarantee you're going to get your exact change. We'll give you the bill's exact amount, but we can't guarantee the exact change because there is a shortage. We couldn't guarantee it.
Yep. I remember they weren't even doing bottle returns.
Yeah.
I remember when Spencer's first opened back up, and we had an 11 limit, and that was including us employees. So we were scheduled 2 employees for the store, and the store could hold. So you had 2 employees to 9 other people.
Yeah.
And then you had 1 person watching the door, and then somebody running your cash register while trying to help the customers in the store.
Yeah, it's madhouse.
And then customers would get mad because you'd sit there and say, well, you can't come in without a mask. And if they're medically exempt, we had to excuse everybody else out of the store to allow these people in because we couldn't allow them in the store touching everything. And if they touched anything, we had to wipe it down.
Yep.
So people were getting mad because we're saying you have to have a mask.
You'd have to follow them around and sanitize and make sure everything
They're
is
getting
safe.
mad. Well, you're hovering. I'm like, nope, I gotta clean this. You touched it. You're not wearing a mask. You touched it and breathed on it. I have to clean it. And I'm like, I'm not saying you have it, but this is a precaution we have to take so other people feel safe coming into our store.
And keep them protected.
Yeah, I'm like, I've had it, and I personally would not like to get it again.
Yes.
It's something that brings like so much level of frustration. I know a lot of people out there truly feel that their liberties are being stepped on by being forced to wear a mask, and I can understand that.
But there's people who are like who have compromised immune systems where like my poppy, he couldn't wear a mask for very long periods of time because it affected his breathing horribly. He couldn't wear a mask. Like, he tried to as much as he could, but he physically couldn't. I'm like, you're thinking about compromising them. I have asthma. I had a compromised immune system.
And on top of that, he had his compromised immune system to where it was easier for him and harder for him to if he caught it.
Yeah, I got to the point where while COVID was going around, even with me wearing a mask, I couldn't go over to my grandparents' house because I couldn't take the chance of anything that I had on me bringing it to them.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's my grandparents they're my parents. Like, they helped raise me with my parents. It was hard for me not to see them.
Yeah.
But I did what was best for my family. I looked out for them.
You sacrificed something to protect them.
Yeah. Like, even Christmas, we were supposed to go see family at Christmas. We did a whole video thing over that. Like, I'm sitting there like, I'll do a video call with y'all. I'm not opening presents because of what I celebrate, but I'm like, I'll see y'all because this is the one time I get to see you guys all at once.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm not gonna let something get in the way of that.
Yeah.
Hi.
It's rare that you can get all the family together.
Oh yeah, especially on a video call.
And it's been this past year, since 2020 when COVID hit, it's been even harder. And we've had to find new ways to be able to connect with our family, to be able to connect with our friends, and we had to rely on other means a lot more, like turning to gaming.
Yeah.
And being able to stay inside together, kind of thing. It was not easy, and now we're faced all this pent up energy, all this hurt, all this anticipation of being able to get back out there again.
But what scares me is we're gonna have these large gatherings. What if those numbers skyrocket again, or something else, like something happens? It's like, I understand, like, we need to start going with the rest of the world. We need to start doing things, start opening back up. But with them to completely just say, okay, everything's completely back open, there's no regulations or anything to help monitor this, I feel like numbers might go up or cases might show up again.
Yeah, and that's a possibility.
But I think it's not fair to keep everybody cooped up any longer. It's just, I feel like there should be regulations and stated on how long or how the capacity of things. I know they have capacity sets now, but I feel like they should slowly raise it, not automatically go back to what the capacity was before COVID.
Yeah, we can't really realistically expect everyone to stay inside forever, to socially distance forever, to wear masks forever.
But there should be like regulation, like, okay, if you slowly do this, like certain times, like just integrate people back in slowly. That's all I'm at. Just slowly do it. Like, yeah.
We're trying to figure it out. We haven't really experienced this in this modern
Well, they had that
context.
slight opening somewhat where before the numbers went back up again.
Yeah.
But that's because everybody was like
overdoing it.
Yeah. Like where you had some of these bars where they had these like set numbers and they're still letting people just overpack it. And I'm like Michigan, there's a bar there. They had people surrounding the whole bar. Like the inside was packed and even outside in the parking lot was getting packed. And I'm like, how are you all distancing? How are you following regulations at all? And I saw like 6 cop cars drive past this building and not care.
Well, the thing is a lot of the cops were just like, well, we're not enforcing this.
True. And there's like some of the cops where my dad, when COVID first hit, the cops were pulling people over for being out and about, but they weren't approaching cars to see if people actually had these letters saying they're going to work. They just assumed, because my dad looked over into his backpack, because he had a letter from the job, so he went over to his backpack. Didn't even get a chance to pull it out. The cop just waved at him to keep going.
Yeah, that's one of the things. When everything got shut down, we had to carry around identification that we were outside for a reason.
Yep.
Nothing was being enforced.
That's scary. That's scary.
Mm-hmm.
That's not how our society is supposed to run.
That's not how we're meant to run. The way we were raised and how we were taught, that's not how we are meant to run. This threw everybody off. So I understand where people are coming from and saying that stuff, but I'm like, y'all gotta understand, this is what's gonna help.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We didn't know much then.
Yeah, which is understandable. We're all scared and we don't know what's going on. We just got told this is happening. This many people have died already.
Yeah.
And we're trying to figure it out. And it sounds like we've pretty much figured it out to the point where society is going to just be able to move on to a degree.
We're just going to treat it like the flu. It's like the version of flu. It's just the flu on steroids is the best way to put it. It's like you said, it was the common cold with just a different variation of it. It's just on steroids. Yeah. So we're just going to do what we do with the flu vaccine and just keep researching. And if it changes, we got to keep changing it. And then obviously it'll be a choice if people want to do it or not. It can't be force mandated, but at least you have that option.
Yeah.
Like I'm not too heavy on the flu shot. It makes me sicker than it does anything else.
Yeah, with me, the only reason I've gotten the flu shot the past couple years, like I've had friends that have babies, and my sister had a baby, and they asked me to get it, and I'm like, if it makes you comfortable, okay, I don't mind. Mm-hmm. But it's just like, I'm not gonna judge somebody because they didn't get the COVID vaccine. I'm like, that's your choice. Just don't judge me because I did.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's all I ask. I'm like, respect what I did and I'll respect what you did. But the second you start disrespecting me, I'll start disrespecting you.
Right. And that's one of the things we do have to preserve is that choice.
Yeah, and like just respect everybody's decision and everybody will be fine.
We have to respect their privacy to their own medical care and their choices that they make of their own medical care.
I made mine based off of medical decisions. I'm like, this was the best medical decision for me, so I went the best route. And I'm like, my mom's a nurse.
Yeah.
I went straight to the source of somebody who's seen it, who has helped see the studies of it, and I'm like, what do you think? And my mom's just like, just because I'm a nurse, I'm not going to be biased and tell you to get it. She's like, with you having a compromised immune system, I'd recommend you get it. No, she told my sister not to because there was no point. But, so she's like, it just depends on person.
Yeah.
Yeah. I agree. Pop it in and off online with our stream, and it's because the production the production computer is just
plus old. It's getting later, so we should probably keep moving.
We should.
Yeah, because I don't even know what time it is right now.
Every time
11:14.
Every time this reboots, we keep on getting people coming in and out.
Yep. Alrighty. Well, I didn't see any other blessing requests other than yours, my dear. So I think we are safe to move on to mooncakes and ale. Which for us is carrot cake cookies and some Arbor Mist.
Usually I like my mead.
It was so good and I was just staring at it. I'm like,
We shall try. Okay. Right. Whoever wants to grab which, I don't care. You'll grab that, and you'll grab that. Okay.
You made it easy for me.
I know, right? Okay, whoever wants to start first.
Okay. May you never hunger. May you never hunger.
Oh, soft. I like it. I think it's stale.
You chose these.
I thought they were so good.
I said, what fresh cookies did we have?
I thought they were still good, so bite me. May you never hunger.
I most certainly will not.
I know.
I got this. You good? Not
you
really.
Sure?
Try not to choke on a cookie. I'm the uncoordinated one, just throwing that out there.
Family friendly stream. Family friendly stream. Family friendly stream. Better to be choking on the cookie.
I did it.
That's what he said.
I got the first half I chewed down. This is why we can't be left alone. I promise we're adults. I promised.
You got the first half, it was that second half that was the doozy.
Well, I can go around with the wine because I'm sure everyone's gonna need it for when the cookies are. It'll make everything go down better.
We're supposed to be adults here, but we're like teenagers right now. Ooh, collect ourselves.
The heat's doing it. It's what this is. It's also Saturn. We're lucky Uranus is in our retro.
Oh my gosh. Oh fuck.
You know it'd be worse if it was.
Oh, alright. May you never thirst.
Oh, well.
But this.
I couldn't get the words out when I handed you the cup.
May you never thirst.
At least my mouth's not full. Then may you never thirst.
Hey, at least we're able to keep innuendo PG-13.
Semi.
Now, what did we learn about stale cookies?
It caused people to choke.
Oh my gosh.
You know, Valk was warning me. He's like, those cookies are gonna go stale. Let me eat them all.
He did forewarn us.
But do you really want him on a
Eat
bunch
all
of
the
cookies in
No.
one go?
Not when he's being naughty, especially.
Here
we
snuck
go.
some in for Bella.
It seems like if for a moment we were graced with Dionysus.
Those are good cookies, though.
They have great flavor, just the texture's off.
They're
Have you
awesome
tried the
cookies.
new Oreo cookies, the Lady Gaga ones? Are they good?
They tasted really like...
You could taste the food coloring.
Yeah, you could taste the food coloring.
They were supposed to be like just normal flavor, just different colors, but you could kind of taste the food coloring, and it had a little bit of a different texture. But I thought they were pretty cool. I still ate them.
They were cool, just I did not like the taste of the food dyes in them, so I couldn't.
See, that's the thing. If I'm gonna get them, I'm gonna want to eat them. If I'm gonna taste food coloring, I'm good.
Yeah, you can definitely taste the food coloring in it. Okay, now is the time to start saying goodbye to the gods and goddesses and everybody else that we had join us this evening. So,
Okay.
take a moment to say your farewells to your god or goddess or deity of your choosing that you had joined us this evening, and bid them a fond farewell and thank them.
Hail and farewell.
She's gonna be sitting in the car waiting for me. She doesn't want to leave yet.
Hey, if she wants to join your party at home, by all means.
That's what she says. She's like, "You got a kitten at home. I want to love it." She's gonna scare the kitten. The kitten's not gonna be ready.
No. Alright. Now's the time to say goodbye to the corners. So, we start in the west and go Widdershins, which is counterclockwise. Alrighty. Hail, guardians of the watchtower of the west, element water, color blue. We thank you for joining us this evening for our Litha ritual. Hail and farewell.
Hail and farewell.
Hail, guardians of the Watchtower of the South. Element fire, color red, and the direction of Litha. Hail and farewell.
Hail and farewell.
Hail, guardians of the Watchtower of the East. Element air, color yellow. We thank you for joining us for our Litha ritual. Hail and farewell.
Hail and farewell.
Hail, guardians of the Watchtower of the North. Element earth, color green. We thank you for joining us for this Litha ritual. Hail and farewell.
Hail and farewell.
Okay. Now as we stand, let's shift our feet around.
Get that circle.
Yep, get that circle that we've casted, and let's open it up. Let's let all this good energy that we did, speak of.
Especially that laughter.
That laughter,
Get
yes.
that out in the world.
Get that out in the world. Let it spread as far out as we can imagine, envision it. And it shall manifest itself as big as this world if we shall let it.
Pass on that joy.
Yes, pass on the joy to the world. All right. May the circle be open, but unbroken. May the love of the gods and goddesses be ever in your hearts. Merry meet, merry part,
and merry meet again. Blessed be everybody.